Today we're going to subtract fractions. Subtracting fractions are just like adding fractions. The process is exactly the same except for the operation. Remember to always look for your sign. We have been adding, so we added our numerators. Today we're going to subtract, so instead of adding our numerators, we will subtract them. Everything else is exactly the same except for the operation. Whenever you have your fractions and they have been written horizontally, go ahead and write them on your notebook paper vertically before you even get started. So at this moment, if you don't have your notebook out, go ahead and get your notebook out and get ready to work these problems with me. I expect you to put these in your notebook. So let's start with 10 over 12 minus 4 over 6. The first thing that I want to look at are my denominators. I have a 6 and a 12. So I ask myself, which one is larger? Yes, 12 is larger. So 12 is going to be your common denominator because 6 will go into 12 also. 6 times what is 12? 2. And whatever you do to your denominator, you must do to your numerator. So 4 times 2 is 8. Ask yourself, 12 times what is 12? 1. Whatever you do to that denominator, you must do to that numerator. 10 times 1 is 10. Now that you have a common denominator, you keep it and you look at your numerators. Your numerators are 10 and 8. Now remember, we have changed operations. Instead of adding, we are going to subtract. 10 minus 8 is 2. 2 twelfths. 2 twelfths. Once you get 2 twelfths, don't assume that is your answer. You've always got to see if it will simplify. That has got to become an automatic given for you, okay? You have got to automatically remind yourself, put all answers in simplest form, whether it says to or not. You automatically need to do that. So I've taught you to always start with your numerator. Will your numerator go into your denominator? Yes. So divide them both by 2. 2 will go into 2 one time. 2 will go into 12 6 times. So my final answer is 1/6. I know that 1/6 is as low as it'll go because my numerator is 1, and anytime you have a numerator of 1, it's as low as it will go. Let's try another one. 3/6 minus 3/8. Remember, write it as you read it. So 3/6 will go on top, and then 3/8. The first thing that you need to do is to go ahead and look at your denominators. You have an 8 and a 6. Ask yourself which one is larger. 8 is larger. Will 6 go into 8 equally? No, it will not. So one thing you can do is you can multiply. When I multiply 6 times 8, I get 48. So I'm going to go ahead and try it. 8 times what is 48? 8 times 6. Whatever you do to the denominator, do to the numerator. 3 times 6 is 18. Ask yourself, 6 times what is 48? And that would be 8. 3 times 8 is 24. Once I get them over a common denominator, I have to remind myself to look at my operation. It says to subtract. Now, if you don't know what 24 minus 18 is, go over to the side there and work it out. Don't try to do it in your head if you can't. That 4 becomes a 14. That 2 becomes a 1. 14 minus 8 is 6. So I get 6 over 48. But when I get 6 over 48, I immediately think to myself, both of those, or not both of them, but 48 is a large number, so it would go lower. So I'm remembering that I was taught to start with my numerator. 6 will go into 48, so I'm going to divide them both by 6. 6 will go into 6 one time. 6 will go into 48 8 times. So my final answer is 1/8. Now, I told you that multiplying your denominators will work every time to get a common denominator, but sometimes when you get that denominator, it might not be the least common denominator. So let's try this one again to see if we can come up with a smaller denominator. So when I get my common denominator of 8 and 6, I think to myself, I know they will both go into 48, but is there a number smaller than 48? Because 48 is kind of large that they will both go into. So I come over to the side and I think 8, or you may even think it in your head. 16, 6 won't go into 16, 24. 6 will go into 24, and 8 will go into 24. So I'm actually going to use a common denominator of 24 because it's a lot smaller, and if I have to simplify, it probably won't deal with such large numbers. 8 times 3 is 24, so I times 3 by 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 6 times 4 is 24. 3 times 4 is 12. I remember to go back and look at my sign. My sign says subtract. 12 minus 9 is 3, and my common denominator is 24. Well, I always have to remember to look at my answer and see if it will go lower. So I see 3 and I'm thinking 3 is a small number, but 24 is a large number. So chances are it could go lower. So I'm going to start with my numerator. Will 3 go into 24? Yes, you are correct. 3 will go into 3 one time, and 3 will go into 24 8. So either way that I chose to start the problem, whether with 48 or 24, as long as I remember to simplify and get my answers as low as they will go, then it doesn't really matter. But it will save you some trouble if you will start with the smallest one possible. That will work. Now let's go to number 3. Number 3 is, make sure you're getting your work as we're going, because I will have to continue to erase so to make room for me to write on the screen. So make sure that you are keeping up. Everyone should be writing these in their notebook. Number 3, 5/7 minus 2/6. Write them as you read them. 5/7 minus 2/6. The first thing that you need to do is look at your common denominator. Your denominators are 6 and 7. I must find a common denominator. I have to look for one. So 7 is larger. 6 will not go into 7, so I will have to multiply. 7 times 6 is 42. So my common denominator will be 42. I can't think of any number smaller that both of these will go into. So I asked myself, 6 times what is 42? It is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times what is 42? It is 6. 5 times 6 is 30. Remember to look at your sign so you don't do the wrong operation. Your common denominator is 42, and then you subtract. If you don't know 30 minus 14, go over to the side and work 30 minus 14 out. This 0 becomes a 10. This 3 becomes a 2. 10 minus 4 is 6. 2 minus 1 is 1. So I get 16 over 42. I know that both 16 and 42 are large numbers. I'm not for sure if 16 will go into 42, but I do know they're both even. So I'm going to divide them both by 2. That's the hint I'm going to use this time. I know that 2 will go into 16 8 times. And I know that 2 will go into 42. 2 will go into 4 2 times. 2 will go into 2 1. So my final answer is 8 over 21. Now, 8 and 21 are large numbers, but 8 is even, 21 is odd. 8 is divisible by 2, 21 is not. 21 is divisible by 3, 8 is not. So both of those numbers are as low as they can go. So our final answer is 8 over 21. Let's do the next one. 2/3 minus 3/5. Remember, write it as you read it. 2/3 minus 3/5. You go ahead and try to work this one on your own. Pause the video and see if you can do it without my help. When everyone is finished, unpause it and see if you got it correct. Look at your denominators. You have a 5 and a 3. 3 will not go into 5, so I'm going to multiply those two. 5 times 3 is 15. My common denominator is 15. Ask yourself, 5 times what is 15? That would be 3. Whatever you do on the bottom, you do on the top. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times what is 15? 3 times 5. Whatever you times that denominator by, you times that numerator by. 2 times 5 is 10. And then you're ready to work your operation. It says subtract. 10 minus 9 is 1. I keep my denominator of 15. My answer is as low as it'll go because my numerator is 1. I'm going to work one more with you, and then I'm going to let you work the rest by yourself. Pay close attention to what I do and see if you catch on to anything. Number 5. 7 over 11 minus 1 over 3. The first thing that I need to do is find a common denominator. I have a 3 and I have an 11. I ask myself, will 3 go into 11? And it will not, so I have to multiply. 11 times 3 is 33, so I get me a common denominator of 33. Ask yourself, 3 times what is 33? It was 11. Whatever you times the denominator, you times the numerator by. 1 times 11 is 11. 11 times what is 33? That would be 3. And 7 times 3 is 21. Now, my common denominator is 33. I must solve it. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. So my final answer is 32 over 33. It is as low as it'll go because my numerator and my denominator are side by side on the number line. But did anybody catch what I did wrong? I can imagine your hands are going up as we speak. You are correct. I performed the wrong operation. Now, I actually did that on purpose to show you how quickly you can make a careless error. My answer was convincing. 32 over 33 looked like a good answer. And it was if my sign had said to add. But my sign actually said to subtract. So let's go back and do that the correct way. 21 minus 11. 1 minus 1 is 0. 2 minus 1 is 1. So my answer is 10. The correct answer, if I subtract like it said to do, is 10 over 33. And that answer is as low as it'll go. I would like for you to work 6 through 10 and check those together. 6 through 10 and then check those together once you get finished.